What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the 38th installment of the NP podcast. Now, I know this is not the Astronaut podcast. I don't know why it kept on saying that it is the Astronaut podcast, but what happened to that, right, is the Astronaut podcast was supposed to happen last week, but Astro got busy, so we didn't have the Astro podcast that week. And then we don't have it this week either because she's busy again, so it's whatever. I'm going to try to get her on next Saturday if I can. I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know what my work schedule looks like. But you know, we're here. We're doing the solo podcast. Life is great. What is up, Vegas Plays? What's up, I Hate Antarctica? What a rebellious name, okay? Why do you hate Antarctica? What's good? I'm in the mop closet waiting for you. I hope your grandma's there too, cause she gonna get it. The stream music is pretty good. Thanks, bro. I just randomly found the song and I thought it was great music, and like I used it. I was like, it was good enough to use in one video, and then I was like, this song is good, but not good enough to use as music for like in the backgrounds of videos, because certain songs flow with the background, certain songs flow with a YouTube video, right? And it's just the song that doesn't flow with everything. Like I have like 2 or 3 songs that flow with almost every video, and like you probably heard them before, but this song, it flowed with one video, but that was it. But I was like, this song is too good, and so I made it my because I was always thinking like my podcast needs a sound, okay? And I was like, wait, this is a perfect sound for my podcast. And then I made the introduction of the podcast, which is that screen, and I thought it was a great idea. But yeah, it is really important to have good music with the backgrounds of your videos, because music really complements your YouTube video. Your video can be complete shit and then turn completely around with good music. No joke. I've had so many videos that were like really like on the cusp of me not even uploading the video because the video was so bad, and then I found the right song and it made the video amazing. Now, I'm not telling you to have your YouTube videos rely on music, because for a time my videos were very reliant on music and editing, and like the recording itself wasn't even good. And basically what I'm thinking is your video should be able to be good without music, and of course you have to edit it, but baseline editing, it should be entertaining. But without all the zoom ins and stuff, but sometimes that's just not possible, and sometimes, you know, music and the right editing is just the cherry on top for a video. Yo, what's up, Lori Gallagher? She's waiting for you. She wanted me to tell you back in the day that you used to call her Creamy Chicken Surprise. Damn. Okay, I could get with that name. I just use my own shit music on loop. Lol. You make your music? That's cool. That's cool. You know what? That is awesome, because in a way you make every single aspect of a video. So for me, you know, I make the recording, I do the editing, and I do the thumbnail. And then I take somebody else's music, but you, in your way, are doing more work than me. And that's awesome. You know, you work really hard to make a song. Dude, that's so cool. It's kind of like the concept of recording your own gameplay for a video. Now, I never really use, and I'm talking about background gameplay, so like if it was a commentary video and I had like Call of Duty Zombies playing in the background, you know, that's cool and all, but like sitting down and recording it, it feels like you controlled every single aspect of that video, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, it's Aunt Lori. I forgot that we don't have the same last name. What's up, Aunt Lori? Thanks for coming out. Yeah, thank you everybody to coming out to the podcast. I appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully Astronut will be on the podcast next week, but you know, who knows? But guys, before, you know, I've had an eventful day. It was the thing is, my edits are trash, but my music is somewhat good. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, no problem, bro. You know, today was a good day. Like, let me just talk about my day, because, you know, I meditate and I think about the things I'm appreciative of. But today was just like, it wasn't a bad day, but it wasn't an over the top good day. It was just a productive day that was good. So basically, I woke up and I was covering for a girl at work, and she cute as hell. That's all I gotta say. She cute as hell. I didn't cover her because she was cute, but I was like, oh, it's you know, it would help somebody out, and it was only like a 5-hour shift, so I was like, what's a 5-hour shift? That just adds to my day. You know, my day is still it's still a break to me. Technically, it is still a break day if you've only worked 4 to 5 hours. If you go to work for 4 to 5 hours, that day is still a break, okay? What would you really be doing with those extra 4 to 5 hours out of your day? Be real with me. You would probably be being lazy as hell, watching TV, or deciding what food you want to shove into your face. So I was like, hey, an extra 5 hours of work, you know, it does nothing but benefit me, and it helps her out. So I was like, it's mutually beneficial, and I was gonna take up the offer. But then I got home, and guys, so there's a Steam sale going on right now, and you guys know me, I don't really like video games that much anymore. But I saw on the Steam sale that there was such a good price on a childhood game that I absolutely loved. It's called Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. Dude, I grew up playing that. It was my favorite game of all time as a child. And I loved that game so much, and it was on sale for $5, and the game was originally $26. I was looking back a month or two at buying it, but I was like, $26. That's a steep price. I'm not gonna get that. But I bought it because there's a Steam sale, and I also bought Feeding Frenzy. So now we're gonna have some games to be playing on Twitch every Sunday. You know me, I haven't been streaming on Twitch every Sunday like I said I would. It's just because there's not really, I don't like playing video games that much, and I don't want to have a boring ass stream. I would rather commit that time to making a video or something. But yeah, so when I got home, I played it for an hour, and then I And then I started watching some Star Wars. I watched a lot of Star Wars today. I watched The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Now, The Empire Strikes Back, man, let me tell you. The Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie, okay? Now, let me give you a little backstory. I watched The Empire Strikes Back a really long time ago for the first time. I remember we were in my grandfather's apartment building, and on the very top of the building, there was like a library. It was on like the 24th floor, I think, and nobody was in it. This had to be like 8 or 9 years ago. Nobody was in it, and there was a TV in the room. There was this floral patterned couch, and there was a VHS tape of The Empire Strikes Back. And we put it in and we watched it. And I remember that being like the best movie ever. And today was the first time I've watched it in a long time, and the movie holds up. Now, the beginning of the movie is so boring. Like, when the rebels are fighting off the Imperial Army on that snow planet, it is so boring. But I gotta admit, that little Yeti, that huge Yeti monster was cool as hell. Ooh, I love to hear that you meditate. Yeah. Sup, yo, section, Dylan, what's up? Big Fat Nuggets, what's up, Bat Deeren? The Empire Strikes Back is the best. It's just the best. Nobody can say otherwise. Yeah. But anyways, that Yeti, I love that Yeti monster. It was so cool. That scene is really good, but the rest of the scenes are so boring up until like the 30-minute mark of the movie. And I like to say it's fate, but I fell asleep during the movie. I was very tired when I got home, but I woke up at the perfect timing ever. Yoda, this was the scene where I fell asleep during when Luke crashed, right? And I fell asleep around the time when Luke crashed, and then I woke up at the perfect moment ever when Yoda gave the best quote that I've ever heard. And here's what he says. This one a long time I have watched. All his life he looked away to the future, to the horizon, never his mind on where he was. And like that, to me, that was just fate. I was like, holy shit, that is the deepest thing I've ever heard. That was like genuinely the best quote I've ever heard, ever. And I was like, I can't believe I just woke up at that. I got out of bed and I rewinded it and watched that scene over like 5 times. And I was like, that was such a mind-blowing quote that really hits home. Because not only can you include this for the future, but you could also hold on. You could apply it to the past too, looking at your past and never living in right now. And that's why I meditate, okay? Because I have this theory, right? There's this thing called nostalgia. Everybody knows about it. A long time ago, I feel like I had crippling nostalgia, basically. Now, 2018 was such a good year. It was such a freaking good year. Well, the first 7 months of 2018 was good. I'll get into it later why the last of 2018 wasn't good at all. Well, it was okay, but it wasn't as great as the beginning. But basically, season 4 of Fortnite came out, during the beginning of the year. Season 2 of Fortnite was still going on. That was so fun. Then there was season 3. It got even more fun. And then season 4, I became a god at the game. I was making I made the Kirby video, which blew up at the time, and it gave me so much motivation to do YouTube. And And anyways, I just became a god at Fortnite, and I was streaming it all the time. Like, I was looking back on my channel, and I had several streams that were like over 3 hours long. And to put that in perspective, the streams I was doing before would be max maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours once in a blue moon. But anyways, that year, after season 4 ended, I had this nostalgia of wanting to go back so bad. And this nostalgia hit me so hard that I could not focus on where I was at the time. I was just thinking about the past that I could never go back to. I just kept on thinking about it. I would wake up in the morning and I'd be thinking about how I really took for granted those times. And that's kind of why the rest of 2018 wasn't so great, was because I was busy focusing on the past, something you can never have again. Like, you can't go back to the past. Nothing you ever do will ever make you relive the past. You know, you can appreciate the past, but the past is the past, and you can't dwell on it, you know? You can't dwell on it whether it's good or bad. And that's a common misconception. People think you can't dwell on the past if it's bad, but it's all right to do it with nostalgia, because that's what nostalgia is dwelling on the past in kind of a certain kind of fondness. And basically, the next 5 months of 2018, I was dwelling so much on the beginning of 2018 that I was so sad, and like, my videos were so shitty. I remember truly my worst content ever was posted at the end of 2018. I was just so angry and stuff. Now, it didn't take until like, I guess, summer of 2019 that I finally got over the past, which is a very long time. You know, by the beginning of January of 2019, I learned to deal with it, but I never got over it. But by the time it was summer of 2019, I finally got over it. But anyways, that basically applies to the quote of Yoda, that we also, you know, we do that with the future and the past. And I was actually talking to my good friend Robbie09. Oh, it froze. Okay, the stream is still okay. Okay, what's going on? Alright, hold on, the face cam went autismo. Alright, hold on, let me delete the face cam overlay. Holy shit, my bad, guys. I'll talk to chat. You learn from your past, yes. You and Bewitching's channel blew up during season 4. Who's that? What would you say the worst Star Wars film was? Shit, don't make me do that, man. I feel like I hate saying this because I grew up watching the prequels. In fact, my first Star Wars movie I ever watched was Phantom Menace because I owned it on VHS. I hated, I loved that movie, I guess because the Darth Maul scene, but, other than that movie was terrible. Is it me or is the stream kind of broken? Oh yeah, it's broken as hell. Don't worry. Alright, guys, I think you may have to, reset the stream. I'm gonna reset the stream real quick. Guys, I'll tell you guys when to refresh. My apologies. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Alright, we're black. I fixed the face cam. I don't know what happened there. OBS can be whack sometimes. But, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. But anyways, yeah, Phantom Menace. Like, that movie, I loved it as a kid because, when Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan fought Darth Maul. But other than that, That movie is so awful. Actually, when I tried getting back into Star Wars, watching Star Wars, the first thing I went to was the prequels because that's what I grew up watching, and also because I just looked up the order to watch them in, and the movies were just so awful. I was like, I don't want to watch these, and then I stopped watching them, and then I went back to watching A New Hope, today The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi, the movie is very boring. Besides when, spoilers, the movie's been out for over 30 years, but Yoda dies at the 40-minute mark in the movie. But besides that, I feel like the movies were, that movie was so boring, but obviously the end was really good. And just when they were celebrating with the Ewoks, and you saw the Force spirit of Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan, that was amazing. But the thing I don't understand is why did Obi-Wan's Force spirit show him as an old man, but it showed Anakin as a young man? Now I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking it was because that was when Anakin was good, but I'm not very sure on that. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, such good movies. Return of the Jedi gets boring up to like the 1 hour and 30 minutes mark. Yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, the space scenes where they're fighting in the pilots, it's just boring to me. Like, I mean, I get it. If we're in the 1980s, it would be very cool. But, you know, we live in 2020. That shit is just boring. The Force works in mysterious ways. That was an editing mistake. His actor changed in other versions of the movie. Same with the Sarlacc. Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know much about Star Wars. I was obsessed with Star Wars as a kid. I remember the only movie I had was Phantom Menace because I owned it on VHS. I actually remember going to bed watching it every single night. I even remember one time my aunt came into my room and told me that I had to turn it down, and she turned it down. That's such a weird memory to have, but I remember that. But I had Phantom Menace, and kind of the only way I could watch the Star Wars movies was if I went to like my uncle's house and watched it, which barely ever happened. Or like if my mom bought it, which would never happen. My mom wasn't gonna spend money on that back at the time because we were broke, you know. I wouldn't expect my mother to spend money on a movie. But I remember watching Phantom Menace, going to bed every night, and just the Darth Maul scene was so good. But the only way that I could kind of consume the content of Star Wars was through Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. And that's why the game kind of holds like such true to my heart, is because Lego Star Wars, you kind of get, even though it's like a kid's game because you're playing with Legos, it really feels like you're in the movie and the story's being told. And that was kind of the only way I was able to consume the movies as a child. So I really just loved that back then, and it really feels good. I love those movies so much. The first 3 movies are good, but then the prequels are bad, and I want to watch the new ones, actually. I really want to watch the new movies because I think they should be good. Yeah. But anyways, how I got back into Star Wars was because the show Mandalorian. If you guys don't know, I don't care what anybody says, Mandalorian is better than the first 3 Star Wars movies combined. It's so good. Mandalorian is great. Now the second season, the second season of Mandalorian is definitely not as good as the first season, but I remember watching the first season of Mandalorian. Now let me tell you a story, guys. Back in 2019, December of 2019, my friend at the time, Aiden, and I, there was the Fortnite Winter Cup. And so it ran from, I think, December 21st to the 23rd. And I remember the day we left school, right? Hold on, sorry, I started choking on having a dry throat. But anyways, so 2 days before the tournament, he came over to my house and we got a dual setup, right? So I was right here, and right in front of me he had his setup too. So he brought his computer over, and we connected our computers to the modem, my modem, and we played the Winter Cup together. It was called Winter Royale. And anyways, it was so fun. And we got it all set up. We were playing in creative mode. We were doing box wars. And then at the end of the night, he went home. And then 2 days later, it was the 21st. We went home and we were getting all hyped up. I remember what we had for lunch. We had broccoli and eggs. We had broccoli and eggs for lunch, and I made it. It was so good. And we got on, we played, we did really bad the first day, but we were high hopes. The second day, we did really good. We were 5 points off of making it in the money, which at the time that was $400, which we obviously didn't make it. 5 points off is actually a lot. You know, that was like, oh, you're 5 points from winning. When in reality, if you're 5 points off from being in the money, usually to be in the money, you would have to be 6 points in, you know. But anyways, those nights, he signed into Disney Plus, and we watched Mandalorian those nights, and that's a good memory for me. That's like one of my fondest memories of 2019 for sure. Such good times. OMG, when I was little, I probably put 200 hours into that game. I loved it. It made me feel really into the game when I was little. Yeah, you want to use my Disney Plus account to watch them? I'll talk to my parents. Nah, bro. You shouldn't be giving your password away anyways. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. But I have my own Disney Plus account to watch Mandalorian. Which, have you guys seen the newest episode of Mandalorian? I want to know your opinions on it. Because I think it's good. I think it was, so a co-worker said he thought it was not so good. He was disappointed in it. But really, in reality, I don't think Mando would ever give up. Also, they revealed his name, which is, it's like Grochu or something. Hold on, let me Grogu, that's the child's name. And anyways, oh shoot, okay, I'll stop talking about it then. Oh shoot, my bad. You didn't reply fast enough, bro. Okay, well, I didn't even develop, I didn't even tell you the plot line of the episode. But anyways, I enjoyed it. I enjoy Mandalorian a lot. It's a good show. I really find interesting the whole plot of Mandalorian, because when you watch Star Wars inside of the movies, it feels like a smaller world than it really is. But then you forget all these races of people. Like, for instance, you see all those races of people in the bar. I forgot what it's called in A New Hope. Oh, what is it called? But anyways, like, you forget that there's so many races of the stories of Star Wars, and that they're from places. And Mandalorian is a perfect show because it takes one of those races and like shows you the backstory, and kind of like Luke Skywalker, or in the newer movies, Rey. She's the last Jedi. Mando is basically the last Mandalorian, or so he thinks. And I really find that concept so cool. It shows the struggle of the race of fighting back. And you know how the Mandalorians are bounty hunters, you know. Did you see they had Ashoka? Yeah, because I saw the episode. I saw the episode. Time to take a swig of the water. You know what I'm saying? Man, it hasn't been a good podcast so far. But anyways, you already know that every time a podcast starts up, it's not gonna be the main topic of the title of the podcast immediately. Everybody knows that. If you watch the NP podcast, you should know that. It's usually around 20 minutes it takes us to get in there. I like to feel like I'm warming myself up to talk about it, the subject, because a lot of times I completely forget about the subject and forget what to say. But my newest video, if you haven't watched it yet, it is called, hold on, let me see what it's called. I forgot the name of my own video. It's called My Last Pokemon Mail Day. Now, when I recorded this video, I didn't know that it was gonna be my last. I recorded this video maybe 2 weeks ago, which, yeah, I'm that caught up in videos, okay? But I recorded this video maybe 2 weeks ago, and at the time I was like, wow, this is a really good recording. I'm excited to post this video. But then I sat on it. I kept on thinking about, so I've always had this constant struggle with Pokemon cards, because if you haven't watched my podcast where I had David Pearson on, I brought up the question of is Pokemon, collecting Pokemon cards, just materialism? I always had this fight inside of my head whether it was actual materialism or not, because for me it was kind of like, well, this isn't just an object, it holds meaning to me. It holds, like, this is kind of like a piece of my childhood, right? And so I was thinking about this, and I was like, and anyways, I brought that up on the podcast with David Pearson, and I was just always on the edge of, like, is this materialism or not? And through that whole time, I just kept on buying Pokemon cards, and the more Pokemon cards I bought, the more empty I felt, if that makes any sense. So I kept on buying more Pokemon cards, and every time I held fondly in the memory of the first time I got a Pokemon Mail Day, right? If you guys don't know, I uploaded that video during 14 Days of Nerd Period 2. It was actually my first video. I bought all of Fossil's set. I recorded that video months before it was actually released, 2 months actually. And that day was just magical. Opening up all of Fossil set, Jungle set, my birthday Pikachu card, which I love dearly, and all those other cards just felt amazing. And then my next mail day, you know, it still felt good, but not as good. And then the next mail day, it didn't feel as great. So what happened was I kept on having to buy bigger to try to replicate that feeling of the first feeling. Now, I used to say this funny, well, it wasn't really funny, but like, hey, I used to say Pokemon cards is worse than heroin. And really, like, that was obviously like sarcasm, but the irony in it is it works the exact same way. You know, you take the drug once and you get the high of your life, and then you take it again and, you know, it's kind of the same feeling, and then again, and then it's not the same feeling, and you keep on trying to inject more doses into you until you die of an overdose. Now, that's basically what I was doing to myself. I was killing myself with Pokemon cards. The more Pokemon cards that I bought, the more I hated Pokemon cards. Now, I remember back in the day when I was a child, I used to always like dream of having all the Pokemon cards. But the thing is, I could never, because I didn't have the money. If I was lucky, I would get, my mom would maybe buy me a booster pack at Target, because, you know, I worked for free, you know, and it's just a $4 pack of cards. But at the time, I cherished my collection because it was so small, and I didn't get my hands on a lot of cards. And if I got a good card, that was the prized possession of my collection. But now, every card I was buying was like over $100, and it was just like, man, now with so much prized possessions, it's so much harder to appreciate your collection. So basically what I did is, sure, I still have some of my Pokemon cards, but the thing is, if I lost it, which I've come to the terms that I could get rid of it, and it would hurt, it would sting a tiny bit. But anyways, basically what I was saying was the fact that I was making up an excuse that, oh, it's something that I'm connected to from my childhood. That's even more reason why you shouldn't be attached to it. Because the moment you are connected to your material possessions, that is materialism, you know? And I had to push myself through it, and basically I sold my entire Pokemon collection today, actually. I sent it off with my mom. You know, I sold it for a very low price. I sold it for $160. I sold all my binders, my sleeves, most of my cards, but I did keep some. I'm not gonna lie, I did keep some Pokemon cards. And the reason is for the aspect of, I enjoy the cards a lot, and I want to keep a small collection because I can appreciate it. But the thing is, if I lost it, sure, it would sting a little bit, but I would get over it and it wouldn't hurt. And I've come to terms with that. It's not, you know, you're allowed to have some material possessions in your life, but feeling the need to have them, which is what I felt with Pokemon cards at the time, that's bad. But the fact that I've given up buying Pokemon cards completely, and I've sold almost in my entire collection, just shows that I don't have that connection to the cards anymore. And I can just have them sit in my my drawer and be fine with it. I look at it once every, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and I'll be fine. And yeah, I'm basically really glad that I got over that, man, because yo, random person, what's up, Derpy? It's been a long time since I've seen you around these parts. But yeah, that's how I got over collecting Pokemon cards, and I feel so freaking good about it. I feel like I've dropped so much weight off of my back in life, and ever since that moment, I got rid of I'm getting rid of all my belongings, actually. I'm getting all the extra clothes I have that I never wear. I'm getting them into a donation pile. I'm doing that with all my suits. I'm doing it with everything that I own. You should not be emotionally connected to any material on this earth. And that's my opinion. You know, maybe I'm a little bit extreme to it, but one of my biggest challenges, it wasn't even the Pokemon cards. It's something so ridiculous that it was such a challenge for me to do. Now, let me tell you the story. A long time ago in 2017, right? I got a job at a bakery back in December of 2016. And this was kind of my plan to get my YouTube started, was get this job, get the money, and start my YouTube channel. And I think by the time February came around, I was able to buy an Alienware laptop, in which I also bought World at War, Call of Duty World at War. And I finally got to play custom zombies for the first time ever. But while I was waiting so at the time, I got the Alienware laptop and I was playing on mouse and keyboard, which I never did before at the time. And it was so awkward. And actually, I'm not gonna lie, the most fun I've ever had on zombies was when I was playing on keyboard and mouse and I never played on it before. I felt autistic. Like, I felt like I lost all motor skills, you know? And it was so fun, but I didn't mean that in a rude way. But I played on keyboard and mouse until I ordered this controller that I wanted for 5 years. I've wanted this controller for the longest time, since I saw it in a Game Informer magazine from GameStop. It was called a Rock Candy Xbox 360 controller. And I finally got one, and lo and behold, I got it in pink, my YouTube channel color. And it was my favorite controller ever. I remember the night plugging it in and playing Custom Zombies for the first time. And like, it was incredible. And so I opened up my drawer and I touched this controller and it sent shivers down my spine. Kind of like my, see what I did there? My outro music. It sent shivers down me, man, holding it. And I was like, I don't know if I can get rid of this. And then that's when I realized the fact that I didn't want to get rid of it is why I had to get rid of it. Because I couldn't be attached to a material thing. So I have this mindset adopted in my life. If it's something I want to do and I would have a hard time not doing it, that's when I stop doing it. It was kind of like yesterday. My sister made these cookies, right? I was just eating a buttload of junk food. You know, my sister had candy. I never eat junk food at all. But I had one little bit of junk food, and I started engulfing all these cookies and stuff. And I reached for the cookie, and I was like, I want to eat this cookie. And then the fact that I wanted it, and that it would be hard for me not to eat it, and the easy thing to do would pick it up and put it in my mouth, that's the exact reason why I didn't do it. Because it would be easy to do it. So yeah, you know, you gotta separate yourself. You gotta have the mindset. You have to have a brutally, what is the word? You have to have a brutally disciplined mindset and deny yourself the things that you want. This is the deepest and most meaningful podcast I've ever listened to. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, I hate Antarctica. Thank you so much. By the way, where are you from? I've never seen you on my main YouTube channel before. But, you know, thanks for popping by the stream. Are you from Bat Deeren? Stream while using my new PC? Hey, man. I'm glad you got a new PC. I'm doing the same thing. I went through my closet and made a pile of stuff. That's good. And I plan on getting rid of everything that I own that isn't a hobby. So I'm getting rid of everything that I own that isn't a hobby or something that was given to me. Because guys, let's be real. If something was given to you, you have to respect that it was given to you. You know, you can box it away and put it in storage and get rid of it in that terms, but you can't get rid of it. An item that was given to you is sacred grounds, in my opinion. You know, but if it's something you got yourself and you bought, I'd get rid of it. That's what I was doing. And yeah, so I'm getting rid of everything that isn't a hobby. So basically, I'm not getting rid of my computer because I need my computer to do my hobby, which is YouTube. And I'm not going to get rid of my Game Boy Color, not because I'm attached to it, but I enjoy playing Pokemon games once in a while. And yeah, that's basically what I'm doing to live the simplest life possible, is get rid of all my things. It seems very counterintuitive, but I'm not gonna lie, ever since that I've done it, I felt so much more happier. People think that the more things you get in life, you know, people always have this dream of, oh, I'm gonna work towards you know, getting a mansion, getting a Ferrari, you know. That's not gonna make you happier. It's actually getting rid of the things that you don't need in life. You don't need a Ferrari. You could do just fine with a Honda Civic. You know, I kind of used to have this lens where I would look at people and I'd be like, wow, your car is so ass. I'm going to own a Challenger. And then I realized that mindset is so ignorant. It's like you don't need a Challenger. And in fact, the person, you know, you look at the two people, right? You look at the guy who has the Honda Civic and the guy who has the Dodge Challenger. Who do you think has a happier life? Now, that's a really weird question to say, there's different factors. Of course, that guy could have been giving the Challenger. If I was given a Challenger, I'm going to be driving it around, and I'm going to be enjoying it. But you think about it, and really, you don't need that car. You don't need the nicest things on earth. And people really do think that working towards getting the nicest things there is in life. We hear all these rap songs about, oh, Gucci, oh, Louis, I'll be rocking it all, and just all these rappers, it's kind of ingrained in our brains that the peak of life is getting all these nice things. But in reality, you look at these rappers and they are losers. They're not losers. They're just misdirected. That's a better term. But they're the ones who have to smoke weed all day to escape their life because it's terrible. So living the simplest life truly is the best way to achieve the best happiness you can. I was happy with my material possessions, and now I'm even happier without that. So, you guys can make your own decisions. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just informing you of my experiences, and maybe you can learn from them. I'm not here to tell you, oh, do this, do that. It's not my life. Your guy, I care about you guys, but I can't control you, and I'm not going to get caught up telling you guys what to do. But yeah, that was the main topic of the title of the podcast. And I think I did that was a damn good job of explaining my feelings of it. I couldn't have said it any better than what I have said it as. So you know what? That's reason to be happy. I'm appreciative that I was able to convey the things that I mean in the right words, which is something I'm not able to do all the time. But yeah, even if I would recommend, simplifying your life a little bit. But hey, maybe you're not extreme as me. I'm kind of extreme. I guess I would say I'm pretty extreme of it, because when I get a hold of a concept that works, I go full out immediately. Maybe with you guys, you need to, wean it off a bit, taper off, get rid of some things that you don't need, and then eventually do it more. But what my good friend Robbie09 said is, there's a difference between materialism and hobbies. And for instance, like books, I read a lot of books, and of course that's a material possession, and it's annoying, but it does cost money. But, I wouldn't feel bad if I lost my books, because I read it and I've obtained all the knowledge of the book, But the best way to get around that is library. I forget that libraries are even a thing. I live 2 minutes from a library. I can just get a library card, borrow a book for a week, study it, take notes on the book, and then give it back. Because the knowledge retains in your head forever. Sure, it's good to be able to go back and read that knowledge, but wouldn't the knowledge be better off writing your own words, writing notes on it? Like if it was a book on social theory or something like that. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. I spoke it really well, and talking about materialism, I also have a plan that I'm not going to buy anything that I don't need anymore. Of course, if it's for a hobby, for reasons like for instance, I have a mini bike that I got recently. So excited to ride it for the first time. And talking about the mini bike, that buying the mini bike gave me a hobby that I indirectly love. So we own a few acres of land. I think it's like 4 acres of land. And so we have woods. That's our woods. And so going into the woods, there's this flat part. Here's kind of our land, right? Here's where our house is. Here's our backyard. It's like a slope. And then we have a creek that goes down like this, and then like this, and then up a hill, and then the woods that are flat. And so up in the woods, I kind of built like a mini bike rink. out of dead logs. So what I did was I made a boundary of dead logs. I chopped wood and I picked up these big logs and set them between trees. And I made a really cool rink. And now I just have to rake up all the leaves up there, which is really obnoxious that I'm doing it right. Dude, December's about to hit. It's going to be snowing all the time, which isn't true. In New York, it actually snows like a few times in December. And then, but it's in January and February that it really starts snowing. But I'm building that whole track up, and that buying that mini bike is has caused me a lot of happiness too, because now I'm working outside on my free time, which gives me something to do in the day. If I find that during the day I'm bored and I'm not doing anything productive, like I'm watching TV, I can just go outside and rake leaves, which is awesome. You know, I haven't ridden the mini bike yet, but I hope that I can do it within the next 2 weeks. That's the goal. That's the goal. Because I still need to get a helmet for it. But anyways, yeah. So I've broken up a plan for what I'm doing with all my money from my job. So 70% of each paycheck is going into cash savings. And so it's being tucked away, cash in a safe, you know. And then 24% of it is going to be going to personal. And what personal means is I can have personal savings for in case like I need something new for my YouTube channel. Let's say it's buying Cold War so I can make videos on it, or buying a video game so I can stream it on Twitch, which doesn't happen all the time. That's not what the money's for. But also it's going to be for, you know, gasoline for my mini bike, or it's going to be books. Oh, like over there. You can't see it because the webcam doesn't extend over there, but it's going to be for books and stuff like that, which I don't buy often either, because I have a ton of books that I need to reread anyways. So it's going to be a long time before I do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have personal savings, and then so 24% is going into personal savings, 70% is going into cash savings, which by no circumstances aren't allowed to be spent by me at all. Unless, no, there is no unless. There is no reason I will ever spend that, because I have 24% personal savings, which is a lot of money. And then 70% cash savings, and then 6% is going to my 401k. Now I'm gonna do 6% into my 401k up until I'm around about to hit 20, and then there's a certain amount of money that you want to have in your 401k. And the reason why I'm doing this, it's not to get the most money possible when I'm older. It's so when I'm older I could like it's basically future proofing. It's not like I'm sacrificing a lot right now for when I'm older, because I will enjoy my rewards now. If I want to go out and get a pizza and eat it with a friend, I'm going to do it, you know? Because money, man, I would rather die. You know what I would rather have? I would rather die with the memory of going out, spending $10 on pizza and eating with a friend, than I would have having that $10 and never spent it. That's just the cold hard truth of it, in my opinion. But yeah, that was a good podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. If you ever want Cold War, I'll be more than happy to game share it. I'm gonna get it when there's Christmas sales for sure. I don't want to get it right now. I want there to be more content in the game, and I want to get a good deal on it. I don't need help. I don't need help though. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to the 38th installment of the NP podcast. My throat is hella dry. I need to drink some water. Thank you guys for listening to me. People in the future listening to this, I really hope you learned something. And the people who are listening right now, thank you so much. And I hope you guys learned. You were able to learn something. But quick shout out to everybody who came by. The Vegas Plays, I Hate Antarctica, Aunt Lori, Bat Deerin, Section. Thank you everybody for coming out. That's everybody. Thank you guys. Oh, and Random Person. Had fun, bro. Our amazing as always. Keep being you. Thanks, dude. I will do it. And you as well. I love you all. For real. I love you. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of the podcast. Cue the podcast outro music.